Top 25 Family Guy characters.
If you are brand new to our channel, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Just click on the lit red button as well as the gray bell. Why the bell? Well, it will let you know every time we post a new video.
Number 7. Tom Tucker and Diane Simmons. Dueling news anchors that volley such hate at each other without the joke ever getting old. Tom and Diane participate in some of the show's better non-sequitur moments. Tom, who went by the name of Mike in the pilot, is a mustache jockey who speaks frankly from behind the news desk, not afraid to sling all sorts of sarcasm and vitriol at his co-anchor. Some choice Tuckerisms. We now go live to Diane being a bitch. Diane, or coming up, Diane's weight. Never mind that his mustache is fake, or that he hates the fact that no mustache can conceal his son's upside-down face. Tom Tucker is the anti-Kent Brockman, and that's a good thing. He's more like a sadistic Ron Burgundy, if that makes sense. What does make sense is Diane giving as good as she gets, overcoming what could be stereotypical role, and making her comeback something to look forward to. And while these two may not be as popular as Eva Monkey or Peter's chicken nemesis, they get more to do, and the writers have fun developing their characters. Tucker becoming Peter's stepdad, it's funny, trust us, or Diane being married before. As Tom points out, her husband blew his brains out. This just in, more of Tom and Diane please. Number 6. Death. Family Guy enjoys depicting godly afterlife characters as normal Joes, and while we love Jesus and Satan, it is death which has us cracking up every time. Voiced by two different actors, Death is given a humorous deadpan personality by the likes of comedians Norm Macdonald and Adam Carolla. But it isn't just the deadpan average man on the street personality given to the specter of death which drives all the humor, it is also the fact that Death is depicted as a loser. If being an incurable mama's boy isn't enough, Death also suffers from asthma, has problems talking with women, is accident-prone, and above all, he has a really bad choice in wardrobe, as evidenced by his pro-smoking t-shirt. All these factors combined, Death is an amusing character without even having to have an interesting storyline. Out of all the side characters in Family Guy, Death may be the one with the most time dedicated to him in major stories. His first appearance, and arguably his funniest appearance, was in the episode Death is a Bitch, where Death sprains his ankle, making it impossible for him to do his job. With the populace of Earth realizing that they can't die, it becomes Peter's responsibility to collect the souls of the dead. Sure, the story still focuses around Peter, but it is Death's bumbling personality that makes this episode, and every other appearance by the character, a winner. Number 5. Adam West. Who would have thought that Batman would have moved on into animated politics? The absurdity of Adam West being in charge of a city, let alone the fact that the real-life Adam West provides the voice for his insane cartoon depiction, makes us laugh, even without viewing his hilarious hijinks. But, oh, there are hijinks. Mayor Adam West may be the most eccentric character on a show that is full of humorously dumb characters. From constructing a golden statue of Digum Frog, the Honey Smacks mascot, which depleted the city's funds, to cementing graves to make sure that zombies don't attack Fair Quahog, Mayor West is the man looking out for his city's well-being, just in his own special way. While he has never had any major storylines dedicated to his character, we here at Diane find Mayor West to be hands down the best of the peripheral characters on Family Guy. Whether it is a short cutaway or a major speech, we know when we see Mr. West that we are going to get a little bit of comedy gold, which makes our lives just a little richer. Number 4. Quagmire. Who else but Quagmire? This question pretty much sums it up. Glenn Quagmire is there to commit every foul and dirty little deed the rest of the show's quirky cast wouldn't dream of. Quagmire is a shameless pervert to whom no sexual act is out of the question. Between Quagmire and Herbert, maybe it's time the residents of Spooner Street took a long hard look at the type of people they are allowed to live on their block. Quagmire squeaks by because he creates an acceptable facade for his day-to-day life. He's a respected airline pilot, for one thing. For Quagmire, the prestige, wealth, and travel opportunities that come with the profession are the real reward. Quagmire's house is a veritable smorgasbord of kinky sex toys and other odd props. It's almost impossible to flip a switch or bump into a wall without accidentally exposing a spare bed or setting off some strange rubber device. Quagmire's humble abode is tailor-made to suit his every twisted little desire. And when he isn't flying planes or drinking beer down at the Drunken Clam, he's putting his toys to good use. But that isn't all there is to Quagmire. Slowly but surely the show has peeled back the layers to show us the man underneath all that bravado and decadence. For instance, we now know that Quagmire was born in 1947. The secret to his youthful appearance? Carrots inserted in every orifice. Giggity. Quagmire isn't incapable of feeling true love either. He was married for a brief time until his friends restored the old pervert within. And for a time he doted on his cat, James, until Peter and friends accidentally killed it. But in the end, all of these things are mere diversions from Quagmire's real passion for the ladies. He's a slimy, disgusting, sometimes criminal sort of person, and we loved him for it. There's no telling exactly what Quagmire will do in any given situation. That's why he numbers at the top of the Family Guy supporting cast. Number 3, Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin is a stupid man. That barely even begins to describe it. Peter is almost insane with stupidity. His total lack of self-control and common sense causes him to get into one harebrained scheme after another. How a woman like Lois has managed to stay married to Peter for so long is something science will never figure out. Many of the show's funniest moments come courtesy of Peter's shenanigans. Peter practically invented the main AT joke, those signature cutaway gags that usually have nothing to do with the episode's plot, but offer plenty of laughs anyway. These jokes have revealed, among other things, that Peter wasn't born a man, that he only recently graduated the 4th grade, and that even he doesn't find the comedic stylings of Paul Reiser funny. Peter is often a bundle of conflicting physical and personality traits. He's very stupid, as mentioned, but he's been known to build various complicated gizmos and devices in his spare time, including the Hinton Peter blimp and a Rube Goldberg breakfast machine that shoots the hungry diner. He's morbidly obese and a heavy drinker, but he once had successful stints as a jouster and playing for the New England Patriots. Despite all his crazy schemes and antisocial behavior, Peter really is a loving family guy at heart. He adores his wife Lois. Rarely do more than a few weeks pass without an episode being devoted to Peter's latest quest to win his wife's affections back after royally screwing up. And Peter is the proud father of 3 children, plus one he doesn't know about. It's a strange family Peter has assembled, but we'd expect nothing less from such a strange man. Number 2, Brian Griffin. While he may not be the first talking man dog, Brian is definitely the best. Take that, Goofy. Who can't appreciate, nay envy, a canine that passes his time double-fisting cocktails, pursuing Hollywood careers, or, working on that novel. You know the one, with some rising action, the one where friends become enemies, enemies become friends. Man's best friend is a poor understatement when it comes to dealing with Peter's constant mission to paint the world with all sorts of stupid. You'd think witnessing so much anti-thought would cut the poor guy a break, but no. And that's part of the character's charm, always being on hand for the solid quip or sarcastic commentary. Having lived with the Griffins for many years, and being accepted, and audibly heard more than Stewie for some reason, as a peer, Brian has become a character as important to fans as the show's titular star. Not bad for a pooch taken under Peter's roof after Brian tried to clean Peter's windshield for money. Money Stewie beat the living hell out of the dog for, much to our YouTubing pleasure. Brian and Stewie have been at the center of many of the show's best bits, becoming a core to a show whose tangents make it hard to find a center worth latching onto. We'd expect nothing less from a dog who drives a 2004 Prius, leaves dead birds on the porch, lives violently in fear of the vacuum, and will die as a result of getting into the garbage and eating some chocolate. Number 1. Stewie Griffin. Was there any doubt that the youngest member of the Griffin clan would clinch the number 1 spot? Well, there shouldn't have been. Stewie Griffin is the X factor that sets Family Guy apart and keeps many viewers coming back week after week. In the early years of Family Guy, Stewie was a maniacal genius bent on world domination. His every waking moment was devoted either to constructing a new weapon of mass destruction, or plotting the demise of that foul shrew Lois. Stewie really didn't like Lois, and that's a trait that is mostly carried over to the present. The rest of the family is almost totally oblivious to Stewie's amazing intelligence or his evil little schemes. For the most part, the only one who seems capable of understanding Stewie on a consistent basis is Brian. This has led to a deep-seated rivalry that occasionally broaches the realm of friendship. More and more over the years, Stewie has morphed from evil, tyrannical baby to quasi-homosexual genius baby. He's still incredibly smart, but he seems to have abandoned the plots for world domination in favor of watching Mr. Belvedere, and wooing the object of his affection for the week. Oftentimes that object is Brian, much to the dog's eternal chagrin. Stewie has fallen under a lot of criticism for moving so far away from his roots. In our opinion, the character is blisteringly funny, whether he's attempting to take over the world, or fighting his own homosexual urges. In either case, Stewie represents everything you'd never expect to see in a baby. In a show that constantly pushes buttons and trounces all over good taste, Stewie remains one of the most offensive and hilarious residents of Quahog. Who better to claim the top spot? Yeah.